Hi guys, it's me, and I know this is about the third video that I've made reintroducing myself to the internet. However, this one I'm not going to be corny and talk about my life and everything. I found questions on the internet which are designed for you to get to know me. So I thought I could go through and answer them so you could get a better picture of who I am. Question 1. What is your full name? You're not getting a full name out of me yet. My name is Sophia. We're on a first name basis. Just stick with that. Question 2. What does your name mean? Well, my name actually means wisdom in Greek. And as you can see, my parents didn't name me right. So, you know, there's that. Question 3. Where are you from? I'm actually from the United States, but I was born here, raised in Greece for a while in an area in Athens, and then I was brought back over here. Question 4. What is your favorite drink? Okay, I know what my favorite drink is. It's a Greek drink. It's a Greek fruit drink. It's called Motion, and here's a picture of Motion. I love it so much. Anytime that my parents go to a Greek market, they give me like 3 cartons of it, and I go through in a week, so, you know. Question 5, what is your favorite food? Actually, my favorite food, again, is Greek. My favorite food is a gyro, which Americans pronounce gyro, and every time someone says gyro, I die inside. True story. I had a discussion with one of my classmates about being Greek and how mispronunciations really bother me. And then my professor plays a typography video where this woman says gyro and she looks back at me and I have this expression of, oh my god. Question 6, what is your favorite childhood memory? Okay, so I've thought of one, but it's not exactly my favorite, but it's one that brings me great joy when I think about it. So this was the year that the Wii came out, and I'd asked for it for my birthday. And my mom had gone around to every store in town and she said she couldn't find it. And I accepted that. I said it's not her fault. And we used to have one of those old like entertainment systems where there was like a screen that pulled down in front of the TV. Like when we came home, that was pulled down. And I was wondering why, but she said I wasn't allowed to open it until she came back from the bathroom. And so, like a good child, I waited. And when she came back, she told me I was allowed to open it. So when I opened it up, there was a Wii system there. And it had like a bow tie on it, not bow tie, like streamers, you know like those like bows that you just stick on top of presents? Yeah, that, it had those. And so it was the controller that it came with. Fun fact, there are still streamers on that controller and I refuse to take them off. So then a few months after we'd gotten it, I would sneak out of my bedroom when I knew my mother was asleep, and I would turn the volume on the TV way down, like to 0, so there was no sound, but I didn't know how to turn the volume on the Wiimote off, so you would hear nothing except like in Mario Kart when you're like, you know, when you slip on a banana peel or something. So to this day, when I get really sad or really depressed and I am at my mother's house, I will boot up the Wii, turn off all the sound on the TV, keep the sound on the Wiimote on, and play Mario Kart because it still brings me the great joy that I had when I was younger. Question 7, what is your favorite way to pass the time? Now this is actually a 4-way tie between 4 things, surprisingly. It is a 4-way tie between drawing, watching anime, playing video games, and reading. When you realized your roommates were home and you were being really obnoxiously loud. Hey guys, so I changed settings because 1, I was going through the rest of the video while I was editing and I realized I started talking really quietly after I thought that my roommates were home. So I decided to re-record the rest of this. And 2, I lost track of time after, you know, finals started to pick up and, you know, I forgot about this video actually, and now I'm coming back to it, so that should be fun, right? Also, if you notice this, I slipped on a crosswalk and like tore something in my thumb, so yeah, that's fun. It's always fun, but don't worry about me, I'm fine. Next question, are you a dog or a cat person? And honestly, I am both. I love my cat does not love me, and I love my dog, and I'm pretty sure my dog loves me since for the past 2 days, he's been crying at my door to let him in so he can snuggle on my bed, so I think he loves me. Next question, are you scared of heights? I am absolutely terrified of heights. Next question, at what age did you go on your first date? I went on my first date, when I was in 6th grade. I don't remember how old I was there. I'm 20 right now, and so this was my first date was in the 6th grade. And it was with this guy that I was dating at the time. I will explain this in a different video about my boyfriends and middle school because I am a lesbian currently. Currently, I say. And the date was to like this middle school dance where like the popular girl, I'm doing air quotes a lot, but like the popular people were up dancing and I was awkward and danced a little bit, but like I mostly wanted to sit and eat. And yeah, that was it. Honestly, not very romantic. And that was also my first kiss. I was going to leave and he like grabbed my hand and wouldn't let me leave, and I was like, my dad's out there waiting for me, and he was like, Sophia, I've just had such a nice time with you, and I'm like, let me go please. And he leans in and kisses me, and 3 dudes, I'm not even kidding, just come out like from the corner and like high five him, and I'm like, excuse me. I had no say in this, but okay. Next question, what are you gifted at? I would say I'm gifted at drawing, and here's some of my drawings. And I actually really want to work at Blizzard when I graduate. And I actually have a clip of Steffi begging Blizzard to hire me. Next question, what is the best compliment you've ever received? Well, I've gotten this compliment several times that I'm pretty, but there was one time that was like absolutely my favorite that I've ever been told that I'm pretty. And that was when we were in Texas visiting my family, and this little girl, I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, and this little girl just comes up to me and tugs at my shirt, and I look down and she looks up at me and she's like, excuse me miss, but you're really pretty. And then she walks out of the bathroom. I'm like, excuse me, come back here, I want to hug you, come back. I never saw her again, but that was years ago and that still sticks with me. I still think about that, and it was just because it was just so sweet. It was so sweet for this little girl to just come up to a stranger and be like, excuse me, you're really pretty, and then just to leave. It was adorable. I love it. Next question, what is the first book you remember reading? I'm not quite sure if this is the first book, but this is like one of the earliest books I remember. It's this book called like Yes No or Yo Yes. I'll put up a picture like here or something. And literally it's these 2 guys. One comes up to the other and is like, yo, and the other one's like, no. And the entire book is this, and I'm not even kidding. This is like one of the books I do remember. I don't remember why this has stuck with me all these years, but I mean, whatever. It happens. Next question, do you have any pets? I have 2 pets currently. I have my cat Pouncer, and here's a picture of her. And I have my dog Boone, and here's a picture of Boone. I love them both. They're both wonderful pets. Just kidding, Pouncer will attack your hand even if you're not even moving. Next question, what is your favorite quote? And I actually have kind of 2. Both kind of relate to the same thing. One of them, and I will put like, you know, the credit for, you know, who said them down here. And that is, fear can mean 2 things. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. I believe it's how it goes. Yeah, so it was forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And I like that a lot. The second one isn't exactly a quote, but it's something that a character said that I am quite fond of. So at this point, if you haven't noticed, I'm a giant nerd. And I've got examples behind me and in front of me of why I am a giant nerd. But I love The Legend of Korra. I grew up with Avatar, and I will probably make a video explaining why Avatar means so much to me. But I grew up with Avatar, and I was watching Legend of Korra, and Tenzin said something along the lines of, as long as I'm breathing, it's not over. And I really like that, just because I've gone through like battles of depression and everything, so I really, really like what that sentiment carries. So, next question, do you have a best friend, and if so, who? Steffi is my best friend. I love her to death. I actually did a best friend video with her that will be put up within a couple of weeks of this video going live. So I'm very excited for that. Next question, do you have a tattoo? I have 2 tattoos. One is being covered up by this splint, which is wonderful. But here's a picture of it, or multiple pictures of it since it like goes around my arm. And then I've got one on my thigh for Steffi. It's a snow leopard. And pictures here. Next question, what was your favorite subject in high school? Oh gosh, high school was like 2 years ago at this point already for me. I know that's like, I'm still incredibly young, excuse me, but it's just weird for me because like for all your life you're in like, you know, grade school and now I'm in college, so it's just very weird for me. So pardon me for like reminiscing. I don't think I'm ancient or anything. It's just weird for me. But anyway, my favorite subject in high school was art because I got to draw and stuff. And I actually had one, I drew the Red Bull from The Last Unicorn, and it was put in a display case in the school, and then it was displayed somewhere downtown, which was very exciting for me because my name was displayed and everything. Next question, what was your least favorite subject in school, or in high school? And I would say that has to be math and science. While I find science incredibly interesting, and I'm a huge fan of game theory and film theory, which talks about scientific things and math things all the time, I don't know how to explain it. It always just gave me such anxiety. Like, not knowing a problem, or like even not like getting a concept and then being scared that the teacher was going to like be mad that I wasn't getting it. It was terrifying for me for some unknown reason. But yeah, so that was my least favorite subject in high school. Next question, what was your first job? My first job was a cashier at a supermarket, and oh boy, I got some stories from that. And I'll make a video on that later. So many video ideas, so little time. Next question, what is the furthest you've ever been away from home? The furthest I've ever been away from home is when I was in Australia. I've lived in Australia for about months. I'm sorry, I really don't remember like the exact time period. I bet I could ask my father at some point. It was during my second year of elementary school, and I remember this because I had to like be officially homeschooled in Australia. But yeah, that was the furthest I've ever been away from home. Okay, next question. Who has left the biggest impact on your life? And that's a very loaded question because there's so many people that have impacted my life that I don't even know. So I would say off the top of my head, Danny from Game Grumps has impacted my life in a very big way. Won't go into detail here. There will be a time and place for me to explain everything. But when I was in high school, something really bad happened. I'm fine, everything's fine. But it gave me post-traumatic stress disorder, major depressive disorder, and I was just a wreck. And my friend, I wonder how she's doing, I should text her. Anyway, my friend was like, hey, you should check out these guys. They're called the Game Grumps, they're incredibly funny, and I know you need a laugh, so check them out. And I was like, oh, okay. And this was around the time that Danny was first introduced as Not So Grump. So I checked them out, and they are incredibly funny. Like, Aaron makes me laugh, like, all the time too. But Danny, like, more connected with me, if that makes any sort of sense. Like, no shade to Aaron or anything. I love him. I love him dearly. But Danny certainly did make an impact in my life, and I'm very grateful for him. I'm gonna answer these two questions because they're the same person. Who is your favorite musician, and who is your role model? And I think I just established that Danny is my role model, but coincidentally, I love Ninja Sex Party. I would say that they're my favorite band, just because, like, you know, I can listen to them when I'm having a bad day, and, like, everything feels better, you know, just because, like, you know, he's singing about stupid and it makes me happy. And the last question is, what is your favorite thing about yourself? My favorite thing about myself is that I'm very creative. I am very happy that I am a creative person, so, yeah. Alright, so that was my new introduction video. I hope that the change of scenery wasn't too jarring for you. I'm very sorry. But if you enjoyed, please leave a like, because I've got 2 other videos that I'm editing. That's for Sophia. One is a Try Not to Laugh challenge with Steffi, and the other one is a best friend tag with, who would you guess? Steffi. That's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! I read this next question as when was the first time that you were on the planet, and I'm like, my birthday? I don't know.